Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the my crazy hectic mess of a knife table here. I've got to get this place cleaned up, but I got a package in the mail today, and I have absolutely no clue where it's from. The name on it isn't a business or anything, so I honestly have no clue. I can tell it's a box, but that's about as far as it goes. I can't tell if there's anything else in there, so I'm going to very carefully open this up here at the top. We'll see what's in it. I could be filming this for no reason, but I figured, you know, what the hell. Today's knife is the newly named RS Chaos with my beautiful lanyard from Mr. Ian Cameron. And just in case anybody is wondering, the reason behind the tiger is that's my Chinese zodiac is the year of the tiger. So, but let's take a look at this. Let's see what we got here. That's like 5 layers of cardboard paper there. All right, let's see. I have. Oh, okay. Now I know what it is. Okay, yeah. I'm sitting there thinking it was very liner lock. All right, cool. So I'm even going to zoom in here and get a little more situated. So as you can see, NedFoss knives. They did a YouTube or not YouTube, a Facebook or Instagram giveaway, and I won it. So I didn't expect it to come this fast. So they had just notified me about this sometime last week or earlier this week. So the box got a little messed up in freight, but hey, that's okay. So I've had a couple of their knives. And the cool thing about their knives is they're fairly inexpensive, and I have been fortunate enough, and I've given them away as gifts and things like that. So this is they don't really have a model number. Oh no, there they do. So this is the Mamba. It looks like I don't know anything about this model, so we'll take a look at it together here. So just like the original one, come in these pretty awesome little kind of semi-hard cases. It's got a cool little carbon fiber kind of look to it, a little weave. Really nice cases. It's kind of astonishing. Of course, they do give you a little Torx tool. You get a pretty decent little cloth. The original one I had was embossed with their logo. This one doesn't look like it is. Still, it's a pretty nice, pretty nice little cloth there. Okay. Get some literature. Backward. No, there it is. Okay. And just typical, knife literature, care, sharpening, so on and so forth. Alright, let's get to what everybody cares about, the knife. So anyway, the case, you got the elastic over here, and then you have the little pouch over there. So, again, it's a really cool little case. It's one of the first things that impressed me about their knives when I got one. Alright. So first impressions, pretty doggone nice. This is, I think it said it was G10. It doesn't. It's odd. It almost feels, it almost looks like micarta, but feels like G10. So it's typical to my unboxings, everything's going on in the background, so I'm actually going to enlist the help of my wife here. I'm going to borrow her phone because I filmed this on my phone. So, sorry for the lights flickering. That's what you pay for having 2 different air conditioners in your house. Good old southern summer. 100 degrees with 99% humidity. Let's see. Where's the internet? There we go. Let's see. Where's old Google? Alright, Google. Tell us about this knife. NedFoss Maybe it's the Black Mamba. It is the Black Mamba. Okay. So this is cool. I get to see what it is on Amazon. Ooh. I haven't even opened the blade yet, but apparently it's a blade shape that I actually really like. So currently this knife, right now, heck, we'll just show you. So there it is. Currently right now, as I film this, which it is, today is the August 9th. It's $36. So, you know, of course, prime shipping. Let's see. D2 steel. Yes, so it is micarta. Okay, so it's kind of a tighter micarta. And now the knife that I had that originally kind of led me to these guys was the Dolphin. Really cool little carbon fiber and G10 flipper knife. I've been fairly impressed with their quality. So for $30, it's a really good knife. Or at least the one I had did or was. So we'll take a look at this one and see if it's kind of the similar quality. Actually, did I give that away or did I give that to Keith? That little... never mind. I digress. So, again, we'll be working with micarta, and again, it kind of has... It's a mix of textures between G10 and micarta. It feels soft, but then it has kind of the texture feel of G10. If that makes any sense. It makes sense in my brain. I don't know if it makes sense to you. Orange accent pivot, and you can tell. Looky there. So they are doing better now. That is a captive pivot. There's no screw hole there. And then you've got your hardware on this side. And is this all T8? I just woke up, so my eyes could be playing tricks on me. That's T8. Okay, yes, my eyes are playing tricks on me. Okay. So typical T8 pivot, T6 body screws. I really don't care. It doesn't bother me one bit. Same pocket clip that they had on the other one. Pretty stout pocket clip. It is inset, but you do not have flat screws. But you still got plenty of room there for that. Alright, let's check this thing out. Oh, darn. I mean, I'm not going to, hate on a free knife, but man, what I wouldn't, they had almost like a Warncliffe reverse Tonto blade shape. Ah, man, I was really hoping that was going to be this blade. Oh well. There's nothing wrong with the drop point. I guess that'll probably be the difference between me keeping this knife and passing it on, doing something kind for someone. Feels fairly sharp. Let's give her the old paper test here, shall we? You know what? What better to paper test than instructions for a flashlight? It always amazes me how big instructions are. I mean, it's like instructions to run a nuclear power plant or something. Let's see. So, pretty pretty good. It's not push cutting, but it does slice pretty well. Let's try it with the regular old paper. This stuff is a little bendy. Let's see, I've got good old pieces of computer paper here. Yeah, so it's not super sharp out of the box. It will push cut in certain spots. So right there, it's kind of push cutting. But for just doing like your regular, you know, what most people do whenever they do these paper tests, they just kind of slice it down. So if you do the slice, it's fine. Again, it's not the sharpest thing out of the box, but I ain't mad at it. Honestly, it cuts the same as, $300 other knife that I've recently opened up. So good detent. Lock bar access could be better. You have a little bit sticking out there. Blade centering is, come on, focus. Blade centering is good. Spot on. Let's check so same, I think I had the same, I say issue, but it's not really an issue. Had the same thing on the other knife. There is no jimping. No jimps, as bees would say. It's not got the jimps up here, but it does kind of upsweep a little bit. So it does in a way grab your finger. It's just it's very slick. It's just there's absolutely no jimping on it. So it will slip off. But if you do more of a push button kind of thing, so instead of trying to light switch it, you just kind of more push button it, it works better. I am getting a little bit of lock stick, but these knives usually are pretty well lubed from the factory. No play whatsoever. Let's see if I got any detent lash. Not really, no, it's just kind of where it's starting to break that detent right there. So, and you can hear it probably. So when that detent breaks, there's an audible click to it. I really do dig this. And it doesn't hurt that it was a free knife. Honestly, I wouldn't be mad if I paid $30 for it, $35 for it, whatever. It is pretty cool G10. Again, I've not had a lot of their knives, but I tell you what, bear with me. I'm gonna check with my son and see if I gave him that knife or if it was something that I gave to someone else. So bear with me just a moment. Okay, so I was correct. I did give it to somebody. The reason I was thinking I gave it to my son was because I actually gave it to my nephew. Either way, quality on it felt very much the same. So from what I can tell so far, their quality control seems to be pretty okay. I've not had any issues with the two knives that I've had. They were two totally different knives. I can't speak on how good the D2 is or if it's actually D2 or any of that. But nowadays I kind of tend to trust most of the companies that are actually putting a name on their product. That could be my fault, or it could be shame on me or whatever for trusting somebody. But another thing, you do have a pretty generous little lanyard hole there. I don't remember what they call them, but what they call it whenever it's like this, but the Liners do stand proud of the scales all the way around. It's shadow box, that's what they call it, shadow box. So it is shadow box scales. So just some critiques for it. Number one, jimping. So I don't know if the people at NedFoss are watching, listening. I will probably contact them and let them know that that I did this video. If I was to critique anything about this knife, I actually really like it. I really like the other blade shape. So I will probably, because I do like this knife, I will probably buy the other one with the kind of reverse Tanto or Warncliffe or whatever blade shape that was. I will probably, they listed it as Tanto, but it was very much not a Tanto blade. I will probably buy that version, just because I actually do kind of like this knife. So jimping. So just put some good jimping here on this end, right here on the flipper. That will help out tremendously with the feel of the knife. The fit and finish of the knife will feel better with that jimping, as well as doing some jimping here on the back side, just to give your thumb something to kind of rest onto. It's not bad anyway, but just to give something there for traction. A little bit of jimping there. Let's see. We don't have a sharpening choil. So your plunge grind is right there. So you could extend this choil here out more. Maybe, I don't know, maybe just do a sharpening choil there. Honestly, it doesn't really matter. You can even see here from the factory that you're kind of sharpened all the way up to that plunge grind. So that's that's one thing there. And then also on the lock bar here, if you put some striations or some jimping or something on the lock bar, that will make it easier to disengage that lock. So it's not as, it doesn't feel as difficult, because it has decent lock bar access, but because it's smooth, your finger wants to slide off of it. Let's see, it's kind of throw shutty action. It is on bearings. I can probably you know what? Let's have some fun. I should be able to, let's see, I'm just looking at how, so I should just be able to pull off one side. Should be able to pull off the lock side. So let's do that. I will fast forward this part, so you're not having to sit through all of this, because this is already 20 minutes going on. So, but I'll fast forward through this. But we're going to take this part. I'm going to see if I can't make this to have a much better action. So the pivot is captive, but it's not like super captive, if that makes sense. So there is some play there. So when you turn it, it does turn the other screw just a little bit. I'm going to have to break out the... Okay, so I'm going to slow it back down here. So two things. That pivot was ridiculously tight. Almost, I thought I was going to strip it out even with the Weehaw bit. I had to put some force on it. So looking here, you've got, I couldn't get the other side screws out. So these barrels aren't captive in here. They just kind of free spin, so you just kind of got to go with whatever side comes out. Good detent ball. But you've got on this side, you've got a super thin little washer, like a little thrust washer. And you got your bearing, so it is captive bearings. Stop pin. Let's see, does this side have the same thing? Okay, so this side does not have the washer, so just kind of keep that in mind if you do decide to take this thing apart, that only one side, the lock bar side, has a washer on it. So I'm just wiping everything down. I just want to get rid of all that excess grease and oil, any dust or anything like that from manufacturing, just to kind of, I mean, it's a $30 knife, but hey, it's a cool $30 knife. And I don't know how that pivot is captive, but it seems to be locked in place now. So I can't really get the pivot out of there. So I thought it was a captive pivot. It may not have been. It may just be. I mean, it's D-shaped, so it's supposed to be captive. Anywho, all right. So we're gonna put these bearings back together just like they were in there before. And I will take some original and some heavy. So just a dabadooya of the original, rotate it around, and another dabadooya. Okay. We'll wipe off this side. Okay. Alright. So again, we're going to do it the same way. So actually, I don't remember if that's how this was in there or not. It doesn't matter, honestly. Another dab there. Rotate it around. Another dab there. Same thing on this little washer. Just gonna put a little dab of oil on both sides of this washer. Okay. That is it for the original KPL. And I always do a dab of KPL heavy and the T-tent spot, and then I'll drag it out along that track where it's already got the coating wore off. Okay. Well, just making sure now. I'm just looking to see that this scale is not D-shaped, so it doesn't matter how that pivot is. Apparently the D-shape is in the show scale, so I don't have to worry about anything. And it is a pretty decently thick piece of micarta too, so it's not, shouldn't be brittle or anything like that. Just little things that I'm looking at just to make sure. So let's get this. This is so hard to do looking through the camera, so I'm gonna try to. There we go. All right. Success. Let's get this guy back on here. So it had the pivot screw has some sort of like a reusable Loctite already on it. So I'm not going to add any Loctite. Which I actually got seen a recommendation from somebody, one of the groups, I can't remember where, of using this stuff here. This is a removable, reusable, adjustable thread locker. It's made specifically for vibrations and stuff like that. So I think it's going to work really good for pivots. I've never used it. I've never heard of it, honestly. So I'm interested to see how that works. Let's get these other screws back in. These little T6s. Hey, looky there. I'm actually in the frame. Holy crap. Alright, I'll have to tighten the other side back up, looks like. Yeah, it's just free spinning on that side. Let's see if I can tighten up this side. Yeah, I'll do that off camera. I'll have to tighten those up all the way off camera. I shouldn't bother anything or shouldn't hurt anything. So we still definitely need to tighten up here. There we go. I've got my centering back. Okay, so I need to adjust a little bit. Get rid of some play. Okay. So we are still centered. Sorry, this camera's trying to focus on everything except for what I want it to. So still centered. Let's see if we've got... Still got just a hair of lock stick. Could also just be from just not having that. It just feels like it's tighter just because it doesn't have any of that, any jimping or anything on it. Double check. No play. Up and down, side to side. So yeah, again, cool little knife. More $35? Absolutely. I mean, time would tell if it's, you know, if the blade is, you know, has decent edge retention or anything like that. You know, at $35, it's playing with, you know, in the realm of the Penguin, and, you know, there's so many other, you know, knives for that $30 to $40 price range. So it has some pretty stiff competition in that, you know, ultra budget range. You know, I'm sure there's a, you know, a bunch of Sativians and oops, woo, all right, back to earth. A bunch of other different, you know, Amazon, quote unquote Amazon knives that are in that price range. But again, for, you know, for that price range, it's not a bad knife. I really don't have any major complaints about it, other than, just like I said, jimping. We need jimping. Pivot's a little sus. Like, I don't know if I'm going to take this thing apart again. I'm afraid that pivot's going to round out, so I don't know if it's just the tolerances aren't good or what. But it is a D-shaped pivot, so I didn't have to, you know, cut a slot in this or anything like that. But I'm afraid if I go to try to take this screw out again, it might rotate on me. But, you know, we'll see. You know, we'll cross that bridge. If that happens, maybe I'll update this video, or I'll do something and I'll put it in the description below. But awesome. Well, I do appreciate everybody for watching. This was a longer unboxing than usual, just because, I mean, why not go ahead and talk about the knife while I've got it here. I'm sure y'all probably want to know. Sorry, I'm still kind of scattered brain when it comes to doing these videos. Y'all probably want to know a little bit about the specs on the knife. It is a 4-inch blade. If you go to the tail, 8 1/4 overall. So 3.5 inch, a little over 3.5 inch cutting edge, right at a 4-inch blade, just over 8 1/4 inch overall. I'm sure the other one is different specs, but maybe we'll show that one too if I decide to buy it. But awesome. Well, Well, again, appreciate you guys for watching. As always, hope you have a safe week and a nice day. Take care.